Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you're all fine and well. Hope you're all as fit as Fidel and Sam here. Guys, again, I am interacting with you for a long time. My viewers of this page, Alhamd English Language Academy, they keep on saying that, sir, come live. I was coming live. There was a time, but nowadays, I have just, busy. So I could hardly get chance to interact to my viewers. So again, today I'm here and I am interacting with you on behalf of Alhamd English Language Academy. So today I'm going to talk about different things pertains to English language, pertains to English grammar, vocabulary, speaking. There were some students and they were asking, sir, that how to improve our language proficiency, and some of whom are asking that, sir, how to augment our grammar proficiency, when it comes to learning grammar or when it comes to writing something, they feel jittery, they feel hesitation, so they could hardly manage it. So now today I'm here and I am interacting with you. So I want you guys, if you have any kind of question, any kind of queries regarding English language, so you can comment and you can drop your comment in a comment sections. So I'll be here and I'll be answer you. I'll answer you at the spur of the moment or in a twinkling of an eye as much as possible. So I want you guys to ask any question, and I hope that I'll try my hardest to respond to you as soon as possible. I'll be simply at the back and call of you. Okay guys, if you have any kind of question, you can ask question there. So I have collected some vocabulary, like some of my students, and they were asking, sir, that how to improve our vocabulary, how to improve our writing, because they feel a kind of diffidence or jittery when it comes to writing something. So I have collected some words, some vocabulary. I'm going to share some words, and I hope so it would be very, very helpful for you all. Okay, the first words which I have, that is avaricious. Now, dear viewers, what does it mean, avaricious? Now, let me to explain it. Someone who is avaricious is, greedy. Someone who has greed of money. That word's predominantly used for money. If you have if you are zealous about earning money, or you are totally, obsessed with earning money, so that word is used, avaricious. So someone who is avaricious is greedy or grasping concern with gaining wealth. If you are obsessed with gaining wealth, if you are obsessed with gaining a lot of wealth, then and there we use this word avaricious. So I have used this word here in a sentence, that he is an avaricious person. Now what does it mean, dear viewers? This is as an adjective. Now what is adjective? Adjective modifies noun or pronoun, tells us something about noun or pronoun. So this word, this avaricious word, is adjective. You can use this word like you are avaricious. If you are using this word for someone, that you are avaricious, so you can use this word in this way as well. So I have collected some word, and I'm going to share this word, and I hope so it would be very, very helpful for all and sundry who are watching me, who are in dire need of learning vocabulary. Yes. So dear viewers, if you have any kind of question, you can ask question. Even you can drop your question in a comment sections. I'll try my hardest to respond to you as soon as possible. Yes. Dear viewers, I have another word, that is instill. Now what does it mean, dear viewers? Instill. Instill means to inculcate something into someone or to impart something into someone. Instead of using these words, you can use it instill. Now, dear viewers, the parts of speech of this word instill is verb. So we have to use it as a verb in a sentence. Like what is it mean instill? That if you instill an idea or feeling in someone, if you are putting something into someone, or rather if you want to inculcate something into someone, you can use this word. That like if I use it in a sentence in order to make it crystal clear for you, so that you people can easily comprehend it or fathom it. So I will use it in a sentence that a teacher should instill confidence into his students. Like a good teacher has responsibilities to instill a sense of confidence into his students. Or rather you can say that a teacher should inculcate a sense of confidence into his students. Or rather you can use it in other way, that a teacher should impart a sense of confidence into his students. Arsalan Khan, mashallah sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Arsalan. I am humbled by your appreciation, by your approbation. And today, I'm here. I'm just sharing, some vocabulary, some, lexicon that are, quite difficult for some students, for some people. They were asking the question that, sir, how to improve our vocabulary? They were facing, a kind of difficulties when it comes to learning vocabulary. Sometimes what happen, when it comes to reading something, we cannot comprehend the reading of that very writer, because we are lag behind of vocabulary. Simply we are, living under a rock when it comes to vocabulary, because it is said that without having adequate vocabulary, you won't be able to become a good reader. Sometime we are reading a prolific writer text books, but we cannot understand it. So this is a kind of problems that everyone has to face, everyone are facing nowadays. Arsalan Khan, sir, how we can improve English language? Excellent topic, please elaborate it. Yeah, that's good. Yes, Mr. Arsalan, the topic is that we are talking about English language, that how to improve our English language. This is a big problem for all and sundry. They are facing this this kind of problem. They cannot improve their speaking, improve their writing. Let me tell you one thing. There are people, they are not getting something. They are facing a kind of difficulties, or when it comes to improving their language, when it comes to improving their speaking, because they don't have, or they do not get a good mentor. For that you must have a good mentor. If you have a good mentor who can properly guide you in a good manner, so one can easily translate their dream into reality. So what I'm doing here, being language instructor, as I am teaching to my students, and students are asking this question, that when they come for the first time into my academy, they are asking this question, that, sir, how to improve our speaking, because we cannot improve our speaking. They have simply a phobia. You can say that, a phobia of language. So simply because I just make them very calm, very relaxed, that as they spend some time under my worthy edges, worthy supervision, so they are improving their language, their speaking by leaps and bounds. For that you must, a teacher should inculcate or instill a sense of confidence, a sense of good a proper manner into his students in order to comprehend them, because it's not as easy as like ABC. It's quite difficult, or you can say that a rocket science, a gigantic task for everyone when it comes to learning something under someone's supervision. Like being a teacher, I'm teaching English language to my students. They are coming to academy that, sir, they are quite passionate about learning. They are quite they have a kind of they are simply zealous about learning. When they come to my academy, so they are quite a victim of phobia. So they say that, sir, how to improve our language, how to improve our speaking, because we have tried and we have joined different institution, different alma mater, but we couldn't learn, or we couldn't translate our dream into reality, that we want to become a good speaker, a prolific speaker, or you can say that a fluent speaker. What I'm doing here, I'm trying to make a good conducive environments, quite comfortable ambience to my students. Simple students are coming, so I'm very friendly, quite conducive to my students, and because they are facing, or they are feeling a kind of phobia. They are not that much volunteer. They are quite hesitant when they come to academy. So simply first of all, I just make them very understand about my teaching method, because my teaching method is quite different. Everyone has different teaching method. So mashallah, under my supervision, students are learning, they are getting progress by leaps and bounds, and they are learning so many things. Muhammad Bilal Hashmi, mashallah. Thank you so much, Bilal. Thank you so much. Bilal, if you have any kind of question pertains to English language, pertains to improving English language, so you can drop your message there in a comment section. So guys, I was talking, sir, where is your academy, please? Oh, my academy, we have two branches. One is located at Sandy Catmore, Dera Ismail Khan. Well, our second branch is located in the vicinity of Zafrabad Colony. So we have two branches, and we are two teachers, and we are running both institution, both alma maters, because personally I keep on thinking that I must make it as easy as possible for my students, because I remained students. I have learned this thing under many mentors, under the supervision of different teachers. So I was, I have faced kind of difficulties when I was learning this, and the teacher was there, and because as I told you that every teacher has different teaching method. I'm not criticizing any teachers. They are all good. They are all, doing good work. So when I was there, when I was learning this English language, so personally, I faced, different, kind of difficulties that literally, I cannot share, that I have faced during the journey of learning English language. So now, I thought that I must make it easy for other students, because I have learned it the hard way. Failure, always teaches you. Facing multiple failures. So I have learned one thing, that if I get a chance to become a good teacher, so I will not let anyone to face, this kind of difficulties that I used to face in my previous time when I was learning it. Thank you so much, Mr. Bilal. Thank you so much. So I was, talking about vocabulary, that I was using some words. So thank you so much. Yes. The third word that I'm going to use, that is ajar. Ajar. Now what does it mean, dear viewers? Ajar. Ajar means, this word is specifically used for door. If you leave, a door half open, No, then and there you can use this word ajar. So I have written it, I have defined it very well, that if a door is ajar, it is slightly open. No, the door is not completely opened, that is, slightly open. So if the door is slightly open, we can use it, the door is ajar, because that is not completely closed, that is a little bit, slightly open. If the door is completely, closed, then and there we don't use the word ajar. Sir ji, bahut acha andaz. Thank you so much, Mr. Bilal. I appreciate you that you are watching me and you are my active viewer. There are two words, passive viewers and active viewers. I have many students and some of whom are, passive viewers. On the contrary, there are some, they are active viewers. And Mr. Bilal is one of them, that he keeps on watching my videos, he keeps on watching my live session, and is quite, fond of learning English language. So now I am going to use, another word, that is, yes, I have written, some words. Yes, irrevocable. Dear viewers, the word that I have, that is irrevocable. The parts of speech of this word is adjective. We can use it as an adjective in a sentence. Irrevocable. So what is irrevocable? Used about a decision, action that cannot be changed or reversed. Once you take a kind of step, or once you take a kind of decision that you cannot change or reverse it, then and there we can use the word that is irrevocable. For instance, if I take a kind of decision that I don't like to change that decision, or rather I don't like to reverse that decision, so then and there I can use this word that I have taken, irrevocable decision, because my decision cannot be reversed, cannot be changed, because my decision is irrevocable. A kind of abiding, you can say, abiding decisions, never, lasting decision. Or rather, if I use it in other way, that I have taken, irrevocable step, because I want to learn English language, because I want to become a good teacher, and I want to instill language proficiency into my students. That's why I'm leaving nothing undone to learn it, or to improve it, or to augment it, or rather to ameliorate it. Then, therefore, I have taken, irrevocable step to inculcate linguistic proficiency or linguistic prowess into my students. Thank you so much, Mr. Rehan. Also tell us the importance of books and how many, or it should be many, yeah. How many books have you read so far? Mr. Rehan, I'm not that much, voracious reader. Being, a student of English literature, I have read some books, and I have got some vocabulary. I have got, some knowledge from books. As far as your question is concerned, that what are the, the importance of reading books? If you want to become a good writer, or rather if you want to become a good speaker, I must say that you must read good books, a prolific writer books. Once you read, a good books, then and there you will get, a kind of words, vocabulary that is predominantly everyone is, facing this kind of difficulties when it comes to reading something, because they are not, in the habit of reading books. They are facing kind of difficulties when they are reading books. Sometimes, they are lag behind of, vocabulary. They do not understand words, they do not understand the meaning of the words, the pragmatic meanings of the words, the semantic meanings of the words that is used in the context, that is used in the books, because they are not a voracious reader. They are not in the habit of reading books. simply, they are not accustomed to reading books. So I must say that if you want to become a good writer, or if you want to become a good speaker, so you must read, good books. Unless you read good books, you will live, under a rock. You will not understand anything, because it has enduring benefits when it comes to reading some books. You understand something, you learn vocabulary along with getting some knowledge. There are two things I must share, Mr. Rehan, that we are facing. Sometimes we are, a good, we have a commanding grasp on speaking. When it comes to speaking English, we are too much, good. We are quite, indefatigable. And but once someone asks any question, we cannot, reply to that very person, because we are lag behind of having a knowledge about that very question, that is asked by someone, because we don't have, a kind of, you can say that, knowledge. Sometimes, there are two things. If a person is good at speaking, it doesn't mean that he can speak everything. Once you ask anything from that very person, it can be that if someone doesn't have a kind of knowledge about that very topic, so obviously then that very person will not be able to reply you. He will simply, face or simply feel, jittery, diffidence, reluctance when it comes to replying you, when it comes to answering you. So this is, I was talking about, the importance of, reading books. If you are a good reader, so you cannot face any kind of difficulties in order to understand, or in order to, study any kind of a piece of writing, because you are simply in the habit of reading it. And on the other hand, the problem that the student are asking about vocabulary, that how to improve our vocabulary, how to become a good speaker. So simply I just prefer, reading for them, because vocabulary are, like a bullet. If you have a gun, but if you are lag behind of having bullet, how will you fire? You have the language like a gun, but you are lag behind of having vocabulary. Then and there you can face, a kind of difficulties, because without having, adequate vocabulary, you won't be able to speak very well. You won't be able to write very well. You cannot become a prolific writer. You cannot become, impeccable speaker, because you are not in the habit of reading. Thank you so much, Mr. Bilal and Mr. Muhammad Shuaib Khan. Thank you so much. Shuaib, you can ask any kind of question pertains to English language, pertains to reading, pertains to grammar. If you have any kind of question, so I'll try my hardest to respond you as soon as possible. Okay, you can ask questions. So I'm going to share some words, some vocabulary, and because I'm taking, an avid interest in reading some books, and because I have bought some books, and nowadays I'm reading this book like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's a very good book, for the way the words are used in this book, for the way that the words are, constructed in this book. That is totally, phenomenal. That is totally, extraordinary. And you just, buy some books. You buy some books in order to improve, your knowledge, augment your language and whatnot. And another book that is Main Kaun Hu, who am I? And that is, new book. Recently this book is published, and it's very interesting book. And I haven't completed this book. I'm reading this book nowadays. So I have read some pages of these books. It's quite interesting, and I must, prefer this book to my students, as well as for everyone who wants to learn something, who wants to improve something. And And another question that is asked by my students that, sir, just tell us something about good books of especially related to English grammar, related to English language. So I have one book, and that is totally, quite, phenomenal, and practical English usage. Practical English usage. Different words are used, in this book. Everything simple, has made it crystal clear. So for the way the language is used here, that is quite easy. Even, everyone can understand. A layman can understand it very well. So over here, the writer has, described or has defined or talked about many tenses, the usage of the tenses, the proper usage of the tenses, and the proper usage of, you can say that parts of speech, how parts of speech are constructed. Like, we have, like, if I talk about the adverb, so there are different kinds of adverb. Like adverb of, they are, simple, quite, very well constructed in these books. The kinds, or there are some adverbs that we use, some words adverb before a subject, and some of whom are used after the subject, and some adverb are used at the end of the sentence. So this book is written very well, and it's quite good. At the end, I must share and I must tell you one thing, that nothing is difficult in this world. Nothing is impossible, because impossible itself says I am possible. Everything is possible, providing that if you have a good mentor, if you have a good instructor, if you have a good teacher, you can easily learn it. You can easily, pursue excellence in your speaking as well as in your writing if you have a good teacher, a good mentor. And one thing I must tell you, that if you want to learn something, like if I talk about English language, except from English language, besides that you can talk about other things as well. If you want to learn something, you go to a good mentor, a good instructor, because that instructor will teach you very well. But one thing I must share you, that I must tell you, and that is very important, how to identify a good mentor, a good instructor. Because students are taken by different teachers. They are betrayed by different teachers, because they don't they have a kind of fondness for learning. They have kind of likeness for learning something. When they go there, so they don't get the desired result. They don't get a desired result, because he or she couldn't or could hardly get a good mentor according to his mentality, according to his mind setup. What I'm doing here, like I have different classes, and first when a student comes here, I ask the student that what have you learned, what kind of acquaintance do you have about English language. A couple of days before, I asked this question from my students, that what kind of a commanding grasp do you have on English grammar. He said that, sir, I have a commanding grasp, even I have a good acquaintance about tenses. So when I asked a tenses or a formulation of the students, a formulation of the sentence, he was not able to make a sentence. He was not able to write anything. So I have asked them that I'm not trying to to belittle you or to look down you. I'm just asking you. Adnan Ahmad, thank you so much. Yes, we have two branches, as earlier I told you, that one is located here at Syndicate Mode, while our second branch is located at Zafrabad Colony. So I have taken this responsibility as well, because when I had an institution here in Dera Ismail Khan, there were some students, and they were saying that, sir, we are facing a kind of difficulties because they have kind of problems like transport problems. Very well about the inflation, that is totally, skyrocketing. People are just living hand to mouth. They are hardly make their meets and ends because of these, adverse circumstances or adverse situations that people are suffering. So I have decided that I must open their institution for the students of Zafrabad so that they can get the most of it. So I have taken that initiative as well, and Alhamdulillah, mashallah, and God willing, I have multiple students there as well, and mashallah, they are learning and they are satisfied. Now what is satisfaction for me? I must tell you about, speaking of satisfaction, it reminds me, the satisfaction, because if my students learn something under my supervision, then and there I get, totally, satisfied. I feel very well, and I know no bounds when to see their, humongous performance or flabbergasted performance of my students, and that is, a kind of satisfaction for me if my student learns something under my supervision, and that is everything for me. That is everything for me. And because sincerity is very important, and every teacher, everyone has a sense of, sincerity to everyone, and for a good teacher, it's quite important. It's quite important to impart, a sense of sincerity into his students as well. Students should be sincere to themselves as well, because their parents have a lot of expectations. Their parents, are feeling a kind of, a sense of proud on them when their children, when their posterity, or when their sons are learning something, when they are getting education, they are feeling a sense of proud on them. So I'm also trying to inculcate this element into my students as well, that you students should be very sincere. You should be sincere to your parents as well, and you people should sincere to yourself as well, and sincere to me as well, being a teacher. And I'm trying my hardest to teach English language to my students, and because I want them to learn something. It's a kind of satisfaction for me. Sir, it is very difficult for me to speak. Tell me the name of such book for my English can be strong. That's very good question. Mr. Bilal, as far as your question is concerned, that it's quite difficult, or it's quite, a gigantic task for me when it comes to speaking. Simply, you draw a blank, you go blank, you cannot speak anything. You are feeling a kind of, hesitation, jittery when it comes to speaking English. You are facing a kind of problems that every student has that kind of problems, and they keep asking this question for me, sir, that how to improve our speaking. For that, you must, like, environment is very important. Environment is, as it is said, that man is a social animal. So in a society, and there is a well formed environment, like, they are so that they can learn it, so that they can achieve it very well. I must talk about your question, that how to speak. First of all, you should be very, very, very zealous about learning. Sometimes what happen, sometimes, we are quite, zealous about learning, and we are quite, simply emotionally, unstable. We have unbridled emotion, and we face this kind of thing, that we go to institution, and we spend some time there, and because we can simply we don't get the desired result there, and we think that I must learn it at a breakneck speed. So a room cannot build in a day. It's not easy. A room cannot build in a day. For that, you should be very passionate. You must have, a kind of passions for that, and after that you have to do practice. If I tell you in one word, if I cut a long story into short, I must tell you that you should be very, very, focusing about it. You must be very, very, zealous about it, and you must try to speak. What I was doing when I was learning, I was trying to speak in front of the mirror. I was talking. There are two Abdullahs. One is into the mirror and one is out of the mirror. And I was speaking to myself. I was speaking to myself. And rather I was talking about myself in English, and I was talking with my friends. There were some of my friends and they were saying that, are you gone mad? What are you doing? You are speaking English. What are you doing? You cannot learn it. It's quite difficult. It's not as easy as that you are doing, that you are learning. Your accent is just or acting, not a skill. Thank you so much. Inshallah, I will try my hardest to improve it or to ameliorate it. Ebrar Khan, you are my brother, and inshallah I will try to improve my accent. None is perfect. Everyone has a kind of Achilles heel when it comes to speaking something, or rather when it comes to writing something. Everyone has a kind of problems. So none is perfect, and inshallah I'll try my hardest to improve it. So I'm humbled. Wow, sir, amazing, humongous. Thank you so much. And who is that person? That person is Muhammad Jamal. Jamal, thank you so much. Jamal, if you have any kind of question, you can ask here. You can ask any kind of question pertains to English language, pertains to English grammar, vocabulary, and whatnot. I have another word, that is prodigal. Dear viewers, what does it mean, prodigal? Prodigal means this is an adjective. It can be used as an adjective in a sentence. As I told you about the adjective, adjective simply modifies noun or pronoun. It tells us or modifies noun or pronoun. So the word prodigal means prodigal is an adjective, and we have to use it in a sentence as an adjective. So prodigal means if a person is wasting money, if a person is spending too much money, if a person wastes their money, so that person is called prodigal. Like if a money burns hole in your pocket, simply you cannot save money in your pocket because you are playing ducks and rocks. There's another word, play ducks and rocks. Play ducks and rocks. It means that you are spending money or you are wasting your money too much, and that refers to prodigal. Thank you, sir. Abraham Masood is a good at least. Yeah, Abraham Masood, you are my brother, and inshallah I will try my hardest to work on it. Thank you so much for telling me, and I really, simply I am humbled by your informing me or to updating me, about that how one can improve their accent. This is, my natural accent. I'm not making a kind of mountain out of molehill that I'm trying to use it. Simply I'm accustomed to using it, or rather I'm in the habit of using this accent. And I agree with you, sir. What does it mean by and also make a sentence? Yeah, so it's not, yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Arsalan, I agree with you as you have talked about that how one can, it's not fair to talk like this. Yeah, exactly. But I'm doing this. Inshallah, I will try my hardest to work in it and to improve it, or to, I'm just trying my hardest to work in it and to improve it. Yes, inshallah I will work on it. So I was talking about the vocabulary that I was using in a sentence. There is another word that is, let me tell you about the what does mean by ruminate and also makes on sentence. Thank you so much. Yes, I have told you already that you can ask any kind of question. You can ask any kind of question
pertains to vocabulary, pertains, if you have a kind of vocabulary that is new vocabulary, new lexicon, so you people can also share it. Ruminate means think deeply about something. Think deeply about something. If I use it in a sentence, I can use it. If I ask this question from you, that about what are you thinking deeply, I'm trying my hardest to use it, and you also use this word in a sentence in a proper manner, or in a proper, in a sentence that one can get the proper meaning from these words. Ruminate means to think, deeply about something. You can use it that I am ruminating about my future. If you are very serious about your future, and you keep on thinking about your future, that what will happen, what I'm doing, either I'm doing good, and what would be the the result, or what would be the a kind of consequences. You are quite afraid of doing something. So then and there you are ruminating about something. Thank you so much. We'll catch you back later. It was quite, a rejuvenating discussion, and it was quite good discussion. Hope so. You people have, enjoyed a lot. You people have learned something from this session, and you people have. At the end, I must talk about one thing, that if you want to learn English language, because I'm an instructor of English language, so I must talk about my academy, about my teaching method. So if anyone has desire to learn something or to pursue excellence in their speaking, so you can come, and our doors are open for everyone, and we are simply at the back and call of everyone. So if you want to improve your speaking, your writing, your grammar, your vocabulary, you must visit Alhamd English Language Academy. As earlier I have talked about the location, and there are many viewers, they have asked about the location, that sir, where is it located? We have two branches. One is located at Syndicate Mode, our other branch is located there in Zafrabad Colony, in the vicinity of Zafrabad. So you can visit. Thank you so much. We'll catch you back later.